Hey guys, I'm Johnny Luxting and I like to build stuff, so today in this video I'm gonna try to survive 100 days on hardcore in a super flat world. And so I start. It's day number 1 and my main objective here is to get a village. I look at the first one and I go to there. Also there's a lot of slimes. I enter the blacksmith, I open the chest and poof, 3 diamonds already. That's pretty good stuff for the start. I also start chopping some trees to get some wood for my tools, and this is a pretty cool time-lapse of me mining a tree. I also find my first iron golem. I make a pretty cool tower of 4 dirt blocks and I try to get his attention and kill it. It's now day 2 and I decided to do a cobblestone generator and mine some stone and jump like a stupid because I'm an idiot. I also made a pretty dumb wall around my village to protect it from slimes because they are really annoying. I also got assaulted by a big slime and by other small slimes and a lot of big slimes and slimes and slimes. I almost died, so I barricaded myself in this village house. I also tried to enhance the protection of the village with some water to keep the slimes away, but as you can see it isn't very efficient. Meh. It's now day number 3 and I decided to cut some trees, and I got assaulted by a slime yet again. It's already been multiple times and I'm in panic, I'm traumatized. It's only been 4 days. And I also found iron golem playing with slime. I killed it anyway. On day 4 I found a wonder trader for the first time. It's very cool because you can get stuff that you normally don't get in this plain world, like sand and some weird flowers. I even bought yellow dye with some yellow flowers behind me. And a pufferfish just because it is cool. What I did the next day, you may ask? I mined dirt. Just that, for my future project of building my house. And on day 6 I started making the path to my new house on one of the sides of the village. And of course I got attacked by the stupid slimes. From day 7 to day 14 I started building a small hill to build my house, nothing too shabby. I also mined a lot of dirt and I cut some trees, of course, to build my future house. Nothing happened during these days, just boring, usual stuff, slimes and iron golems. Finally on day 14, as you can see, the hill is already done. Also, I started building the structure of my future house, but unfortunately I did some mistakes that I had to erase that night, but nothing too special. On day 15 and 16 I basically made the walls of my house. Why did it take 2 days? Basically because I had to chop in even more trees to build the walls. Also, a cool building trick that you can use in your houses is to use stripped oak blocks to make an interesting effect. As you can see here. On day 17 I used stone that I've collected to build some cool details on the lower part of the house. I also built the floor of the house with the same cool details that I did in the walls. The next 3 days were spent basically building a small farm with some trees, some vegetables and even sugarcane from the wandering trader. And then, on day 21, something bad happened. I don't know how, but my cobblestone generator put my house on fire. When I did get there, it was already this bad, so I took a lot of time to repair this. I had to get wood again and only by day 26 is that I got back on the work on the roof. On day 27, however, I mined a lot of cobblestone to make some cobblestone stairs for some details on the roof of the house. I even got attacked by a slime again, so I decided to change a little bit the cobblestone generator to something more creative. And that's what I did on day 28. However, it didn't end up as expected, it ended up as a trash. As you can see. I even improved it with some fences, but more than uncomfortable, it didn't even work, since the lava destroyed all the cobblestone. However, on day 29, I ended up with a pretty cool design that, even though it isn't the best on the market, it's working, as you can see. The next day I did some work on the roof. I didn't complete it though, because I was lacking wood, but at least the stone part was done. On day 31 I didn't do much, but I got a zombie for my future iron farm. That is something that I absolutely need right now. And that's what day 42 is about. I started moving some villagers for a place where I'm going to build a farm. However, as you can see, it's a pretty painful process, and also more than that, I actually needed iron to build the iron farm. How ironic. So I had to raid some village to get some iron. That took me around 2 days. On day 35, I started putting the villagers where I'm going to build the farm. And I don't know how, but I only had 3 villagers in the whole town. So it would be probably smarter to build a villager farm first, but being smart is not my thing. Next day I started building the iron farm, and on day 37 my zombie disappeared, so I had to find another one. I also found a villager petrol for the first time. I did not kill it to not get raid, as it would be dangerous, but the iron gun won't kill it, so I got the banner. Anyway, on day 48 I finally started to bring the villagers to the farm. Also, as you can see, the zombie is already there, ready for action. On day 49 I concluded the iron farm. It still had small problems with stuck iron golems, but it was easy to fix. Also, this design is not mine, it's by Wattles. The link for the video is on the description. On day 40 I decided to rest a little bit from the iron farm, so I chopped some trees. The following day I started to build the villager farm that I had said I would build. The iron farm was great, so I decided to use Waffle's design of villager farm to build this one. The link is also in the description. And as you can see, on day 42 the main building was already done. The only problem was to bring the villagers from the nearby town to mine. At first, using boats seemed a great option, but I rapidly realized it wasn't a great idea. So I decided to protect my villager with a bit of dirt, but that wasn't a great idea either. As you can see, it turned into a mob farm and my villager was now a zombie villager. It took a while, but by day 48 I had 2 villagers on some minecart, and I even got some iron to build some rails and even a minecart with the furnace to boost the villager speed. It was quite madness these 3 days. Finally, 2 days later the farm was done. The 2 villagers went inside and started to make babies, as you can see on day 51. And by day 52, not only there was a baby coming, one there, and one baby already turned adult. And what I'm going to do with them, you may ask? My plan is to build a blacksmith so I can sell them iron and even buy some armor and tools. I started building the structure of the blacksmith, but then I realized that it would be better to put some dirt first. Of course it was a very annoying process because of the sign, but right now I'm already used to that. 2 days later I had already finished the structure of the blacksmith. It wasn't ready yet and I wanted to do some minor tweaks, but I think the design looked pretty cool. On day 56 the roof was already done, but it was already night, so this is already in the next day. The building was done and the last thing missing was some details. As you can see, the interior was yet empty. But not for long, as in day 58 one villager was already in. I took a while to figure out how to manage these villagers since I haven't worked with them for a while. And finally, the day before 60, I got my first villager trading iron for emeralds. The following day I took a break from the villagers and I decided to build a small pond in front of my house. It took a while, but at the end of the day it was done. Day 61 was collection day, but also terrorism creeper day. And in the next day I had almost enough emeralds to buy a full armor. I did buy what I could though, and the only thing missing is the helmet. On day 63 I started seeking lava on other villagers for building my nether portal. I've lost my horse, so I took one from the nearby village. At the start of the following day I was lucky enough to find a blacksmith with 2 lavas and 5 obsidians. I thought this was going to be an easy process. I already had 2 obsidians at home, only 1 lava was missing, but it took a very long time to find another blacksmith. In fact, it took me over 1 hour to do it. It wasn't for sure a very enjoyable process. On day 69 I gave up. I put my horse to rest and used the lava from my cobblestone farm to make the nether portal. Making the nether portal was quite hard, since I had only 1 lava. I had to use the same lava to put the wood on fire and to use as the last obsidian. As you can see, I almost turned off all the fire with the water bucket. Thankfully that didn't happen, and at the end of the day the nether portal was lit. And it was on day 70 that I finally traveled to the Nether. It looks like a normal Nether, nothing special, and I decided to take that day to collect some materials and Nether stuff that we don't get on the overworld. On day 71, I built a decoration for my nether portal with the resources I got. Nothing too shabby, just something to look cool. And the next day, nothing too special happened. I just picked some cows that were lying around and put them with the crops. I also wanted some sheep, but that was a harder task since I didn't have any in my village, so I needed to get them from a nearby village. And on day 75, finally a wandering trader spawned again. It had some cool traits such as cactus and dark oak that were really useful. Since I liked the trait so much, I decided to spend the next 3 days building a small house for him just to make the village look better. Since there's not a lot more to say, I'm gonna leave you with this short time lapse. Be right back. With the house done, the only thing missing was to put the wandering trader in, and I really want to say I hate villagers. And the days until day 81 were spent in the nether trying to get some quartz. I even almost died a couple of times, but overall was a quite safe trip. And what am I going to do with all the quartz, you may ask? I'm going to build an iron farm decoration. And so on day 82 I destroyed some structures that would impact the building. I had a really cool plan in my mind, but as you will see in a couple of seconds, I can't say it ended up looking great. My original plan was to make it look like something out of Jack the Beanstalker, but I think it ended up looking more like a weird dandelion. That aside, it was a pretty hard building to do, and the back and the top aren't even finished, but it does the job. Now that only 12 days are missing, I started fulfilling my main objective to this series, that is, getting a netherite armor by day 100. For that, I bring a lot of wood and wool to the nether to make beds and explode them, and I was lucky enough to get ancient debris on my second bed. I knew this was a very dangerous task and I was very careful, however I ended up almost dying already in the beginning. It took quite a while to get all the netherite needed, so this is a cool time lapse of it. Also, there was a part where I was really lucky, at least I think. I got 2 netherites in a row, and then another one, and another 3, and another 2. I think I got in total like 9 ancient debris in the space of 10 minutes. Day 96 was the last day on the nether. Not only I had netherite enough to make more than 1 armor, I was also running out of food and a bit lost on the maze that was my explosions. So it took me basically the entire day to get out of there. But it was still in that day that I made the netherite ingots. And day 97 was pretty boring. I just mined some wood and got some leaves from my final project that will be quite simple. Also, it seems that the wandering trader disappeared, so the house that I made before was abandoned. And my final project for these last 2 days is to make the village look a bit better. To do that, I built some custom trees, and it's quite simple, so you can even use this video as a tutorial. As you can see, it's really straightforward. Put some trees, some branches, and some leaves. Very easy. One tip I can give is to not overthink. It's nature, it's not perfect, and you shouldn't build it like that. As you can see, pretty easy, pretty quick, and quite cool. And these were the things that I did before day 100. I put some bone meal, I built some more trees and some bushes. I even got attacked by an invisible zombie. I didn't know that existed, and it seems to be a bug that occurs in the 1.16.5. I even got a bit scared, and the replay mod actually got the zombie, but I didn't. I don't know what happened. He even got a helmet, so he didn't die with the sun, and eventually despawned, but firstly he pursued me for a lot of time. It's now day 100, and I have to thank you if you stayed until here. You are awesome, and I love you. I didn't do much that day. I just built the netherite armor to make this final epic, and I want to say there's still a lot to do. If you like this series, I may continue it. For example, I might relocate the villager farm, decorate it, make more village house and that stuff. So don't forget to like, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. This is a small time lapse of all I built in today, and if you want more information, check the description and the comments. I will probably comment something. Thank you so much for watching, and make me the favor of being happy.